Well, good morning. How are you all today? And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. So you all are undoubtedly familiar, because everybody's been talking about it, about the CMEs that have been coming towards us, they say. And the promise of being able to see the northern lights, aurora borealis, all the way down to, well, they say that they've been able to see them down in Texas and Alabama and all that, and we were supposed to see them around here. Well, anyway, we headed up last night. Now, for those of you who may not know, I live in the general Kansas City area. We live in Kansas, but and we had thought that that we might be able to see something. We didn't see anything 2 nights ago when they said you'd probably be able to see something. So last night, I asked Kelly. I said, and one of her things on her bucket list, she said, is the top thing on her bucket list is to see the northern lights. So I said, well, and I'd read we ought to be able to see them again last night, but the farther north you go, the better you're going to see them. So I asked her yesterday, and it was a busy day. We had volleyball games and soccer games and family get-togethers and all that, but I said, when we're all done with that, how would you like to drive up north? We'll drive up towards Iowa, and got as far as we can and get a better view of these things. She says, oh, well, that'd be great. So we did. So we finally got out of town about, I don't know, 9 o'clock, and headed north. And we didn't see anything, and we kept going. Then I got something, a text from my niece, who said something. Just a second. So I got a text from my niece with an article. She says, you might find this interesting. And it was, I forget where it is, but I will post the article over on the Patreon channel. For those of you who don't know, we have an associated Patreon channel here. The link is down below in the information box. And whenever I put a video up on YouTube, I put the same video on Patreon. But then I'm able to put down the links to, articles that I took stuff from. So you can read it yourself. Share it with other people if you'd like, whatever. And so it turns out that there are a number of people who have maintained that HAARP, which let's see if I can remember what this stands for. High frequency. It's up in Fairbanks, Alaska. High frequency active auroral research program. That's what it stands for. And they shoot radio waves into the ionosphere, and they can create, fake auroras. And so anyway, this article is maintaining that that this was not CME induced, but it was a function of HAARP. And the interesting thing was that it carried a link, and I don't know if I'll be able to get this or not. You can research it yourself, yeah. That sometime last week, I guess, it was announced by HAARP up there. Is it at the University of Alaska? I think something like that. It's associated with that they were going to be involved in an exercise from May 8th through the 10th, and that's when the first night of visibility of these so-called northern lights was supposed to occur. Well, isn't that interesting, right? That that HAARP had planned this. Now, I have, it's impossible to verify stuff yourself. You have to take, the different sources, information sources, and then just come to a conclusion. I can't go up there and go through. I can't visit HAARP and look through all their material and verify to you that it's wrong or right, whatever like that. Or come to your own conclusion. But isn't it interesting that knowing that HAARP was going to be involved in this exercise, that all of a sudden now we're getting all this information about and warnings about the solar flares and the CMEs and the cannibal CMEs and this and that and this and that, and people are seeing this. Now, the funny thing was, we got close to Iowa before we decided, hey, we're not seeing anything, right? And we were getting, she was getting things on Facebook and things like this as we were driving, with people putting up these amazing pictures and saying, this is from my back porch in Gardner, Kansas, which is not far from where we live. And there we see these wonderful pictures of these, the aurora. And we're saying, well, we're hours north of there by now. We don't see squat, right? And I mean, we went down dark roads and shut off all the lights and looked up there, and then somebody else says, well, you can't see it with your naked eye, but if you have an iPhone and you put it on, and they go through all these, you got to put it on certain settings and do this and all that, and then take a picture of the dark sky, and then you'll see it. Your camera will catch it. Well, what is the big deal about that? I mean, isn't the whole coolness of the Northern Lights, the aurora borealis, is that you can go out there and the whole night sky is filled up with these colorful lights, right? Isn't that the cool part? You don't have to go out there and, I mean, my kids do things with iPhones that I can't believe, make things look like. So anyway, we saw squat. We didn't accomplish anything except taking a nice long ride together and coming home sleepy. So I don't know, but the thing here with this is, and I'll, like I say, I'll put this up, and it's not that I don't believe, as you all know, those of you who know me know that I warn against CME all the time. It is the big hammer. It is the existential threat against our world. If you don't know me, let me reach over here. I wrote the Stonem Series. Okay, the reversion, the revival, the renewal, and appeal to heaven, the blessings of freedom, and hostages to fortune. Number 7 book is almost done. It'll be about a week before I send it to copy edit. And so, I mean, this was about a world killer CME. That's what it's all about. It is, I say, the complete plan for preparing for, surviving, and rebuilding after a complete collapse of everything. So I am a believer and a cautionary of preparing for CME. But, what is this jazz? Oh, where to get them? Tell us where we can get them, Steve. Yeah. Amazon, you can get them through Amazon. I'll say something about that. The link is down below on Amazon. On Amazon, you can get them in paperback or Kindle or Audible. Audible is just going nuts. People are loving that. And if you live outside the United States, because I've gotten several messages from From the UK, from Australia, from Norway, from other places, saying that they couldn't get the paperbacks delivered there. I don't know what the situation is for paperbacks outside, the United States or Canada, but I do know that I believe that Kindle and Audibles are. Or there's a better way to get them. Yes, you were hoping I'd tell you that, right? Yeah. You can get them from me directly, and I love that. Yeah, I can't get to the Kindle or the Audible, but if you are in the United States, now we can't ship outside the United States, but we can ship to Alaska. I don't know whether we can ship to Hawaii or not. But our website, stonemont.us. Stonemont.us. The link is down below in the information section. You can order them directly from me. I love when people do that because it lets me sign them for you and write a little note in there. And because I love my relationship with my readers just like I do with my viewers here. So anyway, that I have always cautioned about essentially it is a certainty that we will be hit by another Carrington class or larger CME at some date in the future. The American Geophysics, whatever it is, I write about this in the preface of my second book, warns that we have about a 12% chance each decade of being hit by a world killer. That's 1 in 8. So you should be prepared. So I'm not saying that, I'm not diminishing the possibility, the probability of a CME. What I'm saying is question, information that we get. This is they were going to start playing with their HAARP, which has all sorts of, if you want to know more about HAARP, dig into it yourself. HAARP, high frequency active auroral research programs. And it's about manipulation. It's about not just weather, but atmospheric manipulation and that's a deep subject. So, you know, was all this just setting us up, or what? And the most important thing to keep in mind, in my opinion, in preparedness, as it relates to all of these external factors that we are told to be, you know, concerned about, afraid of, well, all these kinds of things. And, you know, you see it, and I'm not saying don't be concerned, because I say prepare for anything and everything. The one thing that you will know, or you should know, is that you will never know the truth. And that's the thing to keep in mind. We will never know the truth. We can come up, and it's kind of fun sometimes to come up with these conspiracy things, and what if this and what if that. And you know what? Probably more than half the time we're right. Excuse me just a second. But the most important thing to keep in mind is we don't know. And we will never know. And we will never know if we know. How about that for a circuitous argument? But that's the truth. What we can know, and what we have to do, is realize that the world is a dangerous place. The physical world, the political world, the world of people, everything around us. There are threats everywhere. Some we know, some we don't know. And that just brings us to the main point of preparedness, and that is be prepared. You can't say it more simply than the Boy Scouts did. Well, I know they're no longer the Boy Scouts, but and so much the worse for society. But be prepared. What should you be prepared for? I'm going to make a separate one on that in just a couple of minutes. Not even going to be very long, but be prepared. You can't control what happens in the world. You can't even know whether half of what you're hearing is true or not, but you can prepare yourself to be able to survive and continue to live as well as you prepare to live through and after whatever calamities may come our way. That's the thing to keep in mind. Okay. All right, you all go have a happy Mother's Day. And you know what would be a great gift for your mom? Wow, I didn't even think about it. I'm not a very good marketer. The Stonem Series would be such a great gift to your mom. You know, when you order through the website, stonem.us, there's a place you can put it in there. Would you like Steve to write anything in particular? And I love doing that. So, you know, if you order a set for your mom, put in there, hey, Steve, would you make this out to my mom, Mabel? You know, whatever your mom's name is. Probably most of your mom's names aren't Mabel, but and I'd be and say, Mom, you know, be prepared. Anyway, you all have a good Mother's Day, and if you still have your mom, give her a call or give her a hug, give her a kiss, take her to lunch, do something. Value her while you still have her. And those of you who are moms, God bless you today and every day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.